America, and hello, world. Good morning, Pilipinas. Welcome to the Teacher's Voice. This show aims to give teachers the opportunity to talk on air about their unforgettable journeys and thrilling adventures, as well as share their splendid wisdom to inspire and to give hope to our listeners and viewers. This show is aired by the Philippine Las Vegas radio station from the heart of Las Vegas every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Sunday in the Philippines at 9 o'clock in the morning. This is one of your co-hosts, Sir Marvin, welcoming you from New York City. And my two other co-hosts, who are teacher Judilyn and teacher Pacita, who are also from New York City, are not with us tonight. But we are sure that their hearts and their minds are with us all. We are going to begin this conversation, this episode, with a prayer. Let's bow down our head and bring our hearts and minds in the presence of the Almighty. Father in heaven, we rejoice, and with a heart full of gratitude, we come into your presence and bringing you our thanksgiving and recognizing that you are not only the God who bestows life, you are also the God who bestows the talent and the gifts, especially the gifts of teaching. We ask that you be with us in this episode as we feature the life of our guest teacher. May you use this life as a vessel of inspiration, and the story would bring also the blessings and the joy to our listeners and our viewers. We ask this in the matchless name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. So, hello, America. Hello, Philippines. We are one more time offering to you this episode with a joy in our hearts. And this is a program for all the teachers around the world. And tonight we have a very special guest who is going to bring to us, share with us his life. And it is my joy and my honor to introduce our guest tonight. Our guest tonight actually did not have a desire to be a teacher first and foremost, because his childhood aspiration was to become a doctor of medicine. And he also pursued a degree in computer science in college, as it was highly sought after in 1998. So teaching was not originally in his plan, but after graduating with a computer degree, he found himself in the field of education. We thank the Lord for that. And starting as a computer teacher in the Philippines, he transitioned to teaching English language art in the middle school in North Carolina due to the pandemic. In over 26 years, he developed a deep passion for teaching that developed his dedication to his profession. He described himself as being truly enamored with teaching. Teaching in the Philippines is relatively easy as students are attentive and engaged. Yet teaching and learning happen smoothly. However, the United States presents a unique challenge due to cultural differences and disruptive student behavior. So the first year teaching, our guest during his first year teaching in a Robinson country was chaotic as he struggled to adjust to the new environment. The culture shock, racism, and disrespectful behavior were for him so overwhelming. Yet he realized that the teaching strategies that worked well in the Philippines were not working here. And through seeking the guidance and support from his principal, his academic coach, and lead teacher, and recognizing the importance of continually improving his skills, he discovered that the key to success here in the United States lies in establishing routines, maintaining consistency, and showing care for the children. Our guest will be sharing his life with us, and our esteemed listeners and viewers, it is my great honor to introduce to you our guest tonight, Dr. Edwin L. Cubero. Dr. Edwin, how are you?
I'm good, Dr. Marvin, and I would like to greet you good evening and also to Ma'am Judilyn and Ma'am Pacita. Good evening po. At sa mga taga-Pilipinas, magandang umaga po.
Oh, it is our joy and with gladness that we have you for our guests tonight. And we just realized that we are not really far from each other. Right? So, um, Doc Edwin, you were not prepared, or you did not prepare yourself as an educator, but you prepared yourself in college through a computer science course. Please tell us your story. How did you begin your journey as a teacher?
It started with during the time that was 1998. The most sought after course was computer science,
Mm,
and because usually to the Filipinos like us, kung ano po yung trend, parang nursing. If the trend is
mm,
nursing, mag-nursing ka. And then during our time, it was computer science.
mm,
So I ended up
mm,
taking computer science. But then after graduating from college, my alma mater in high school, that was the third time that they are in need of computer teacher.
mm,
So because I really want to have a job after college, I applied for a teaching profession in high school. So I taught computer subjects in high school. And the journey began there. Then up to now, I'm still teaching. And then as years went by, um, I developed the love for teaching. That's why I
mm,
pursued additional units for to teach legally in the Philippines so that I can
mm,
have a license. So I pursued additional units, and then I took the licensure exam for teachers, specifically in English. And then I was assigned some English subjects during high school. And then from there, from 1998 up to now, I'm still into teaching.
Oh, very nice. So it's the same story with me actually, Doc Edwin. It's like we have the same story because I was not also trained. I did not have an education degree as well. I was in the sciences, in the allied sciences. So I got into teaching and and the rest is history for me as well. So you taught in the Philippines since 1998. Is that correct? Or you
Started,
graduate?
yes, sir. So I started teaching computer subject from grades 1 to grade 10. Yeah. And
Wow.
then I don't have really the training to teach formally the
Mhm,
students. But because I was once a president of the youth ministry in our church,
mhm.
Padre Garcia, I've been involved into different youth with different ages from
Wow.
elementary, high school, and college. That's why, in a way, I know the psychology of how to deal with different ages, and I
Mhm.
applied that into teaching. And then when
Wow.
I am ready into teaching, that's only then that I was able to attend different seminars.
Mhm, mhm. So after all, you have the training to deal with young people, right, of different ages. Oh, that's awesome. But from the Philippines, how long did you teach in the Philippines before you had the opportunity to come over to North Carolina, Doc?
So I've been a teacher in the Philippines for 24 years.
Oh, that's good.
And
That's
then
good.
14 years of which I was once a principal of a small private school in Padre Garcia. I used to manage a small private school in Padre Garcia. And at the same time, I do part-time teaching in senior high school and in college in University of Makati.
Mhm.
And then I enjoyed, yes
That's
sir,
good.
I enjoyed teaching in the Philippines, but then because of pandemic, um, our school has a plan before that they will be closing the school. Our last
Mhm.
commencement exercises was year 2022, last July of 2022. And
Mhm.
when I knew that the school will be closed, I started applying a few months before the closing of the school. And God was so good to me because come July 2022, uh, I was in the US. That was July 23. I was in the US already.
That's great. That's awesome. So, you did not actually complete an education degree, just like I did not, but you had the opportunity to teach students inside the classroom, and also you shared earlier you had also like like a an experience working in with the youth in the church. But now when you are in the classroom, inside the classroom, you have observed and you felt that there really is a need for to prepare yourself. So what are the steps that you did to prepare yourself as a new teacher? And I know that after more than 20 years of teaching, you have now become a seasoned teacher. So we are interested to know, how do you prepare yourself? How did you prepare yourself as a new teacher a few years ago, and now as a seasoned teacher? How do you still continue to prepare yourself?
My mindset is always that I really need learning as a teacher is a continuous process. And
Mhm.
even if I was already a principal during the time in the Philippines, my mindset is that I still need to learn a lot of things.
Mhm.
I have to update my skills. I have to attend to different seminars and trainings and conferences. I have to talk to a lot of people. I have to have linkages so that from there I can get some of their best practices that I can apply in the years ahead of my teaching career.
Mhm.
Um, my mindset before during the pandemic is in terms of my preparedness to come here in the US, I wasn't that really prepared. My thinking is
Mhm.
that I just need to go out from the Philippines. I need to have a job. I need to support my family. And I am not that really prepared about the culture shock thing. I thought it's just easy because I thought that all kids are basically they are good. I
Mhm.
didn't think that there are, let's say, bad students in terms of behavior. I thought
Mhm.
every student is kind and respectful and obedient.
Mhm.
And we had training also from our visa sponsor, the Educational Partners International. They trained us, but the training was online during that time. And
Mhm.
we were given videos about the different behaviors of the student here. But then it's really far different when you are inside the classroom.
Mhm.
It's really
Right.
different from the classroom that I imagined to have. That's why I said it's really a mess. It was really chaotic. All the things
Mhm.
that I studied in the Philippines, all the strategies that I applied in the Philippines, all of those were nothing when I came here. It was like it was like I'm selling bananas to apple eaters. So even
Nothing
if I tried
fits.
my best, you buy bananas from me or you buy guavas from me, but because they are apple eaters, it's really difficult. So what
Right.
I did is I stopped selling bananas. I stopped selling. Tried my best how to sell apples.
Right.
So
Right.
I adjusted myself with how the students behave in this state, specifically North Carolina, and specifically in Robinson County, the school where I'm into at right now.
Mm.
I don't put in my mind that I am a principal in the Philippines, that I am a professor, senior lecturer too in University of Makati. But when I came here, I just have in my mind that I am an ordinary teacher here that needs to learn a lot of things to be an effective teacher here.
Right. Yeah. The feeling is actually a mutual, Dr. Edwin, and I can feel it. I understood every single story that you have. So you were saying that all the strategies actually were not working. The strategies and whatever tricks that you have under your sleeves were not working here. But I'm pretty sure there are moments during the day that something that you did would actually work. Where there are moments when you just realize, oh, this actually works for my students, and you just realize that. Were there moments when you have experienced that as well?
Yes, Doc. Before, I thought that it's all about respect because our
Mm,
principal, when we had the orientation during my first day in St. Paul's Middle School, he said to us that we are not here to teach values and character. We are here to teach the subject that are assigned to us.
mm,
But then I keep on trying to impose respect to my students, but they are really disobedient. But
mm,
then the principal was so hands-on to me. That's why, and he is also an ELA teacher before. That's why I got a lot of strategies from him. And he focused on me. He coached a lot of things. He gave me most of the strategies that he used. And according to him, it's about routines. It's about
Mm,
routines. But because before I don't believe that these students are not that disrespectful students, on the
mm,
first day of our class, I smiled to them. I was very kind to them. But then, according to the local teachers there, these students are really observing me and looking if I am the teacher whom they will be respecting, or if I am the teacher who can play with them. And because I was not strict during the first day, yun po, naunahan na nila ako.
mm,
Knew that I am weak, that I am an international teacher here, that I am a new teacher. That's why my first year was really a struggle. And but I tried my best to apply the things that I knew from the Philippines and from the orientation and then from the seminars that I have here in the US, if they will be working. And aside from the routines that our principal is mentioning, that the principal mentioned to me, I also focus on the
mm,
word care, because I think all of these kids have a good heart. There's
mm,
something within them why they are acting like that. So if I cannot go into the level of making them intelligent or teaching them the content for them to have good scores, I have to deal with the emotional intelligence. So I
mm,
tried my best to let them students feel that I care, that I am
mm,
here not just to teach, but I care. I want them to succeed in the
mm,
future. That's what I did. So I keep on reinventing. I keep on being creative. That's why I try to have this, for example, aside from teaching every day, because in ELA, it's really boring because you'll be reading chapters from the novel,
oh,
read and write. You will be reading a lot, you will be writing a lot. So I try to have a different activities every day. So every Monday, we have storytelling Monday. Then on Tuesday, we have the Tuesday sing day. I bring my microphone and then we do some karaoke thing on the last day
oh,
of our class. And then on Wednesday, we have the Dance Wednesday. And then Thursday, we have the Good Deed Thursday. And
mm,
every Friday, I allow them to sit on their best friend's seat, beside their best friend's seat. That's why it's called as Friends Friday. And then from there, I got their trust that I am there, not just a teacher, was a strict teacher
mm,
that wants them to do a lot of things in the classroom for 90 minutes every day. But I am there to have them to learn something in a fun way.
mm,
And then that's why my second year is a lot better compared
mm,
to my last year.
right.
It really changed my confidence now. Before, when I say sit down, they don't sit at all. I have to shout and to yell so that they will.
Mm,
But this time, by merely looking at them and then in my normal voice, you sit down and they follow me.
mm,
And also, we have to establish routines.
mm.
But then the problem lies if you change some routines, that's where the problem starts again.
Yeah.
But I
They
can
want us, they want to see that the routines are like consistently throughout the year. Yeah.
in terms of maintaining consistency, it really takes a lot of time. It delays the instructions because you have to call the parent, you
Mm,
have to do some intervention thing, and then you have to write them up. It really delays the instruction, and really it's time consuming. But then I have to do it
wow.
because if you say no, it should be no. Because
Mm,
they know if you are just saying, I will call your parent, but at the end of the day, you did not call the parent. So they knew that, oh, Mr.
mm.
Cubero is just saying that he will be calling the parent, but he will not actually do it.
Yeah. That's consistency.
Or,
Yeah. So and then the students are like actually like studying us in the same way, of course, as we're studying each one of them. And I remember while you are sharing your story, Dr. Edwin, during my first year, my supervisor also told me that I should not show kindness to my students because students would take kindness as a weakness. And it took a while for me with such resistance in my heart to accept that because I don't believe that it is. And then here comes another teacher who was ahead of us and then who shared with us like her principle that you just have to simply show love to your students, because whatever they're doing in the classes, continue to show love to them. And through the years, I have realized, Dr. Edwin, that for our students, especially those who need the love the most, they would ask for it in the most unloving way. And so it has become like a reality for us, and just have to continue caring, as you said, caring and loving our students. That's a very awesome, inspiring story that you have there, Dr. Edwin. You are truly enamored with teaching, and what is it in teaching that you feel so much in love with? Please share with us.
Okay, I have mentioned that I am really in love with teaching because it's not because in the Philippines my former students became my friends.
Mhm, mhm,
I am not after if they are successful, but I am after if they are happy after school,
mhm,
after
mhm,
college. And then because these students of mine became my friends now, I was lucky because I am here in the US. And for example, sir, I can have a vacation in Virginia because I have a former student in high school who had
mhm,
a home care in Virginia. And then I have a former students who are in New York, who are in California, in different states here in the US. That's why those are things that satisfy me. It's not
mhm,
really on material things, but in terms of it's not because of what I taught to them, but what I have made them feel when they
mhm,
were inside my when they're in my inside my classroom and we are having classroom discussion. And here in the US, I feel the need that these students need me because I think I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Doc Marvin. I think these students need this care that they don't get from their respective homes.
mhm,
When I look at the record of my students, um, some of my students are living with their second mother or second
mhm,
father. Their
mhm,
parents were divorced. Um,
mhm,
there are some records that the parents are, for example, into drugs.
mhm,
That's why when they come inside the classroom, they are not that focused, they're not that motivated.
mhm,
So if their parents or relatives cannot give that, I am here in front of them. I will be the one who can give that care and love to them.
mhm,
And from that love that I give to them, and in terms of love, Doc Marvin, before, for example, when I yelled at them or when I shouted at them, it's difficult for me to move on because the next day I think I'm still it's not the word thing mad at them, but
mhm,
I'm still not that focused in teaching because I don't feel good when I see them. But I realize that these students after they talk back to you in the morning next day when they come to class, they're the
mhm.
ordinary kid that forgot the things that they said yesterday.
Exactly.
So many I should not be that I don't have to take things not that seriously, or what I mean is kailangan ko nang mag-move on, sir, kasi
Mhm.
wala na sa kanila yun, pero sa akin parang nandun pa rin ako. So
Exactly.
my
Yeah.
mindset again in terms of that thing is that the next day is another day. The next
Yeah.
day is another day. Yesterday was over. Yesterday was over. So hindi sila nagtatanim ng galit, sir. Parang
Uh-huh.
wala sa kanila yun kasi kinabukasan okay na sila sa akin. Kahit napagalitan ko sila. Pero ako na batang ganyan nagmura sa kanila. So I'm trying my best to get away with it,
Mhm.
get rid of it.
Yeah, it's simply a realization on our part that actually the students did not really they really didn't mean to do that. They're not even aware that they have done that, especially if there is peer pressure. If
Mhm.
they have to act that show such action, especially if they are with friends. And you will realize that they were actually not serious about doing that. And the next day, yeah, that's very, very true. So that like you just have to take off all those burdens and then the baggages in your heart, emotional baggages about our students. That was very good. Um, Despite the difficulties and despite the challenges inside the classroom, Dr. Edwin, I know that there are also victories and there are also inspirations that you have experienced. It's not all the time difficult and challenges, but could you share the wonderful victories that you have experienced while teaching your middle school students?
It's not actually big or huge victory, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of a little successes.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I have these students who used to say bad words or to curse to the classmates, or she or they even cursed me. But then this time, they stopped doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing those things. For example, when I ask them to keep quiet, then somebody will be mentioning the S word. But then this time, they're trying to control themselves.
Mm-hmm.
This time, they have their long temperament.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one in terms of behavior. Number two, in terms of attendance, those students who are being absent before because they have family problems, but this
Mm-hmm.
time they're trying their best to come to my class, come to my class. So I have a good attendance record of my students. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, that is an inspiration for me because they want to attend my class. Whatever the reasons are, still they attend my class.
Mm-hmm.
And then number three, um, I, in terms of problems with the parents or conflicts with the parents, I have lesser number of conflicts now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think we have developed a good home and school partnership this time. I
Mm-hmm.
understand better the parents now, the same thing with the students. And the good thing also is that here in the US, um, based on my experience with my 2 years experience here, the admin is really helpful and they give their full support to the teachers because we are here because we want or we need to get the best practices from here. And it's not because they support me or they support us international teachers because they do lack teachers, but because they are really into supporting teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel their sincerity in terms of supporting us international teachers here.
That's very nice. That's very awesome. I'm happy to know that your supervisors and the school leaderships are actually very, very supportive because it really matters so much to an international teacher when you're being supported by not only your supervisors but also by your colleagues because I have experienced the same during my first year. My colleagues are actually who are locals in my school. They are actually like helping me and they are really supporting me, and that really spells so much difference in the way I have dealt with the problems in the classroom. Um, so far, Dr. Cubero, Dr. Edwin, what has been the most difficult encounter you had with your class or with an individual student, and how did you deal with that afterwards?
I really cannot forget that in terms of the most difficult experience that I
Mm-hmm.
had as a student. I was bullied by these students during my first year. Somebody told me and asked me, they thought I was a Chinese. So they told me that go back to China or go back to the Philippines. They called me monkey. They called me monkey. And what I did is I returned it with kindness to them. I still showed care for them. And I spent more time with them. For example, during the independent work, I usually spend more minutes to them. I
Mm-hmm.
that allow them to feel that because of what they said to me, I will change the way I give my best to teach them.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the year, that was last year, I think they realized that I really cared for them, and I am really after that they need to succeed in school. And this time they are in seventh graders and they are my friends now. And they're
Mm-hmm.
my friends now. Those students were really bad last year. They are my friends now.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we miss you, Mr. Cobero. We want to go back to your classroom, Mr. Cobero. And there are times that they visit me inside my classroom
Mm-hmm.
at time. But still, before I took that thing seriously, because in the Philippines, nobody told me that I am a monkey. Nobody. Then I have to what's that? It's to consider it as to consider the thing that it's really different here. It's really different here. And because I decided to work here, I should adopt, and um it's like nasa bakuran mo sila, so parang kailangan mong mag-adjust in a way na hindi ka naman nawawala yung eagerness mo to teach.
Of course, yes. That's true.
And
Wow.
then I tried my best to do some self-help, because not all the time that I can ask for the help of the principal, of the academic
Mhm.
teacher. And I keep on reading, reading, and reading, watching videos about teaching in the US, uh,
Mhm.
as some friends who are teaching in other states. And then also I even asked from help from Ma'am Jo Malabanan Torin,
Mhm.
and then
Right. Yeah.
voice out the things that I have inside my heart, and then I have to let them those things go out from my heart, so that on the next day I will be
Mhm.
there who is inspired to teach again.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So this is your second year or third year of teaching in North Carolina, Dr. Edwin?
My second year.
This is your second year. Well, they said that when you survive your first 3 years, then you'll be good. You'd be okay. Especially uh, when you report or when you are hired in the school, everybody knows that you're new. And then as the students are are graduating and new students are coming in, they would come to realize that you were ahead of them.
Mhm.
And so you were ahead of them. So you were there before they came in. So after 3 years, 4 years, it gets better. You just have established your residency in the school, and it really spells a difference and really matters. And of course, your former students will be telling their younger brothers or sisters, or their younger cousins who are coming to the school. They would be saying good things about you because despite the difficulty, you stood your ground. You still you shared your life in the most caring way. Oh, wow, very nice. Doc Edwin, can we talk about your life as a teacher in the Philippines this time? You mentioned earlier that you were a principal in the Philippines. As a school principal, what are what were your aspirations for the school that you're heading? What are the things that you really wanted to achieve for the whole school during
Okay.
that time?
Being a principal is a small private school in the
Uh,
Philippines, specifically in Batangas, was really challenging, because we only have 15 employees and we have 200
mm,
students. And the
mm,
challenge was every 3 years, if the teachers pass the licensure examination for teachers, they will go to public school.
mhm, mhm,
But then, because the board of directors were really supportive with the programs that I asked them to be approved of, that school has become progressive, because that was the first school in our place where we have, for example, we have multiple intelligence approach in
mhm,
our students. So we have, for example, in the preschool, we have ballet for our students. We have ballet, we have band, we have guitar,
mhm,
we have
mhm,
piano, and then we also did well in chess, in
mhm,
volleyball, and basketball. And what I did is, since it is a small private school, it's easily to manage because we only have few employees and supportive board of directors, and we really have a good home and school partnership. My aspiration was for the school to be recognized globally.
mhm,
For
mhm,
example, how do you call it? The ISO or ISO or ISO
mhm,
certification. But then that was not pushed through because
mhm,
it was closed last 2022. But then I was happy during that time, because for the It was 14 years. The school has been operational for 14 years, and
Mm,
it was known for special programs,
mm,
specifically in reading program and in cultural presentations. It's easy to manage because we only have few students, and you can really maximize their full potentials.
mm,
The
mm,
teachers are really supportive.
mm.
Um, the aspiration was to be a premier and leading educational institution in the province of Batangas. And
Ah,
I think we have reached that 75% because we've been representing also the province in the
mm,
regional competition.
mm,
Unfortunately, we was not able to we was not able to have the national competition because
mm,
again that was closed last 2022, and that was my last aspiration to be competing in the national level.
mm. But nevertheless, the school have seen its glorious days under your leadership,
Yes,
Dr.
sir. And
Right?
even if the school was closed, we keep
Mm,
in touch with our former students, and if
mm,
they graduated from college, we still post congratulations to them if they pass the licensure examination for teachers, for engineers, and other courses.
mm. Oh, very nice. Yes, it's always like a wonderful
Mm.
thing to think about and to reminisce that one time in our past we really have done something very, very significant to for our students in whatever position, in whatever capacity that God has allowed us to be in. So at present, Dr. Edwin, you're teaching middle school students in North Carolina. Uh, what are what are the things that come into your mind every time you come in your classroom? What are the things that you really yearn to be happening inside your classroom as are you are longing for those things that you have experienced in the Philippines? Does it are there times when those aspirations are just coming into your head? How I wish I'm in the Philippines right now. So what are the things that you missed in the Philippine classroom now that you are teaching in North Carolina Middle School?
Though I am not really after the gifts or the
Oh.
material things, but last year was my first time when we had the Teachers' Day celebration, and only one student gave me a gift out of my 90 students. Only one student gave me a gift. But usually in the Philippines, I have a lot of gifts. And
Mhm.
apart from the gifts, they will be greeting you, Happy Teachers' Day, Mr. Cubero. And then during Christmas also, in the
Mhm.
Philippines, for example, they will be giving you a lot of gifts, and you will be receiving a lot of greetings both in social media and in text and in verbal greetings. But here I only received two gifts from my students out of the students again. Um, it was a sad thing for me if I will be comparing that experience when I was in the Philippines. But
Mhm.
then there came into realization that it's more on the behavior. For example, instead of being noisy in the class, but because during the time they were quiet, that's really
Mhm.
the best for me during that time. Because they know this is Teacher's Day, we have to keep quiet so that Mr. Cobera will not get mad at us that I have. And during December, um instead of students giving me gifts, I was the one who gave them gifts. Then that's the way that I want to show to them that I really
Mhm.
love them.
Mhm.
And it came into my realization also that since our school is from Title One,
Mhm.
and it's of Title One, most
Mhm.
of the students are not that well-to-do. For
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
um, that's why I'm trying my best to give them some food.
Mhm.
But I'm very meticulous in terms of the food because here in the US they are not allowed to eat cooked food. For example, from the other people, it could be prepared before food, or for example, the one that's packed already.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that was one of the saddest moments because again in the Philippines we'll be receiving a lot of gifts, but
Mhm.
here it's not. And but then, for example, when they remembered, for example, the next day they'll be, oh, Mr. Cooper, we forgot to greet you Happy Teachers Day.
Mhm.
They will greet you the next day.
Mhm.
So when I tried for example, we had a problem with one parent because there was an incident in the classroom. In the Philippines, parang tinatapik natin, sir, yung balikat ng magulang.
Mm-hmm.
Parang, daddy, mommy, okay lang po ba? But here, you are not allowed to touch them. But because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I tap the shoulder. No, they said, don't touch me. Then they said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. So from then, I realized that I should know more about their culture.
Mm-hmm.
I should always be ready before the conference with the parents. I have to be
Mm-hmm.
ready with my records, with everything, so that everything will be turned out positively.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have this mindset that I have to accept all my errors, all my mistakes, and
Mm-hmm.
all my
Yes.
I should not have that mataas na tingin sa sarili na, ba, ganito ako sa Pilipinas. Pero
Mm.
wala ako sa Pilipinas, nandito ako sa US na kung
Right.
saan sila nagpapasweldo po sa akin. Na hindi naman nawawala yung pagiging guro ko. So
Of course.
nandun naman po ako sa stand na yon. Basta keep on learning, keep on asking for help if you need help.
Mm-hmm.
Huwag mahihiyang magtanong at saka huwag mo ikakahiyang kailangan mo ng tulong kasi hindi ko alam lahat.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of that thing, I'm very humble in terms of asking for help.
Mm. That's awesome. That's great. Yes. Um, Dr. Edwin, you completed your graduate degree, right? And please tell us about your graduate degree, and please share with us how your graduate degree contributed to your life and how it contributed to your success as an educator.
Since my childhood dream was to become a doctor of medicine, think of a way of how can I reach that goal of mine when I was 5 years old or 6 years old.
Mhm.
That's why I decided I have to finish a Doctor of Philosophy in Education. And then
Mhm.
from that, kung di man ako maging Doctor of Medicine, I
Mhm.
will still be a doctor, but this time Doctor of Education.
Mhm. Of course.
And very timely, my dissertation was about a novel, Wonder. It is a child with deformation on the face. And
Mhm.
I worked on the dissertation. The title, if I'm not mistaken, was Overcoming Social Adversity and Resilience Building in that particular novel. And it really helped me a lot because that has something to do with bullying. And
Mhm.
very timely, during the past 5 years up to now, bullying is really rampant in
Mhm.
any means. For example, verbal bullying, physical bullying,
Mhm.
cyberbullying. And I can really apply my dissertation and the module that I prepared, I made for my dissertation. There are times that I use the activities that I have from the module that I made in some of the activities in our class in the Philippines. And there are times also here in the US, but I did
Mhm.
not tell the principal that I'm using the worksheet that I made. And then they can relate also with those simple activities about values education or about being kind to others.
Mhm.
And it's not because you're being called as a doctor, but because of the knowledge that you gain from studying it that you can apply and be of help to these students and to your colleagues as well. And also because of that, it fulfilled my dream of
Mhm.
becoming a doctor. And this time, I am really thankful to the Lord up there because though there's a lot of bumps and roller
Mhm.
coaster rides, I'm still teaching here. And sir, I really can't imagine that a Filipino teacher, specifically a Batangueño teacher, na
Mhm.
may accent and may Filipino English ay magtuturo ng ELA sa US.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
I think really the challenge of accepting the offer. That's why
Mhm.
I'm really trying my best, being smart and doing hard work so that I can be the best that I can
Mhm.
teach inside the classroom here in St. Paul's Middle School.
Yeah. Well, actually, given time, the school and your students will actually find your worth. Despite of everything, they will come to realize that, oh, Dr. Edwin Cubero is actually our teacher who is worthy our respect after all. That's very awesome, Dr. Edwin. Now I'm very interested to hear from you about how you feel about your uh, your teaching mantra or your teaching principle, and you believe that in every teaching session you approach the work with that mentality of teaching that it is your first time, it is your only chance, and this is your last opportunity. So, how does this principle help you in setting up and achieving your goals for a given lesson in class?
Yes, sir. I have this teaching mantra that in every teaching session, I approach the work with the mentality of teaching as if it's my first time, as
Mm,
if it's my only chance, and as if it's my last opportunity. This mindset drives me to always give my best and put 100% effort in every lesson. Um, because I want the students to see that I don't play. I don't play.
mm,
I'm serious with my craft. I'm serious with my work. And when you do it the first time, when you do it the last time, and when it is only your opportunity, it's like you will be leaving a mark. You will be
mm,
leaving a mark. And I want to leave a mark that is something that they will not forget.
mm.
And that's the mark that I want to leave with my students, and of course in my teaching career. It's like joining the competition. I don't believe that it's your first time, there's a second time.
Mhm,
I believe that the first time, do your best. Last time, do your best. In every opportunity, do your best.
mhm, mhm.
Though it doesn't end perfectly, still, you tried your best. And then you get better, then you be the best at the end of the day.
That's great. That's great. So that's why it drives you to always give your very best right at that very moment. Awesome. Okay. Dr. Edwin, how we wanted to have more time to have this more conversation because these are very inspiring pieces of stories that we have. I will be asking one last question and then we're going to share our life quote. Um, Dr. Edwin, if you are given a chance to change the course of your life, and that would include also changing your career, what would you want to become if you're given a chance to change the course of your life?
Um, I really don't need to change my career.
Mhm,
Maybe I will be into psychology,
mhm,
specifically school psychology, because
mhm,
I am really interested with how the student behave and how to
mhm,
deal with it. Specifically, for example, in the US, it's far different from the Philippines in terms of who are your students are. For example, in the Philippines, we have the homogeneous grouping of these intelligent students, or
mhm,
even we have the heterogeneous groupings of fast learner, average learners, and slow learners. But here, aside from having a diverse culture of the students,
mhm,
have those students who belong to migrant education, students who are under the individualized education program, and those students who are English learners, all in
mhm,
one classroom.
mhm,
Students with behavioral problems. It's really difficult. It's really difficult. So, in terms of these differences in cultural differences, um, I will be learning a lot from this. And then when
mhm,
I get back to the Philippines, though we have a different set of students, I can still apply this because, for example, our students who do lack technology, our students who do lack facilities, compared
mhm,
to the students in the US who have a lot, who have everything, they have their own laptop,
mhm. Yes, that's true.
book
That's true.
bags and notebooks, free breakfast and free lunch. They have everything. But then if I get all these strategies and bring back to the Philippines with the students, our students who are ready to learn and prepared to learn,
Mhm.
there will be a better outcome from these students. There will be better results from these students.
Exactly.
But then in return, the way I treat the students in terms of behavior, in terms of emotional intelligence in the Philippines, I can apply this here in the US because that's what they need here.
Mhm.
Emotional intelligence, patience, obedience, respect, what else? Self-control.
Mhm.
They learn that and they will come to class the next day ready to learn. Boom, there will be better EOG results. There will be better end of course results. There will be better assessment results.
Uh-huh. That's true. That's true. But nevertheless, it is always a joy for us to realize that whatever situation we are in, wherever place that the Lord has led us to, we just simply have to bloom wherever we are planted, because that's the part that God has wrote for us, the role that God has given to us to play. Dr. Edwin, how we wanted, how we wish we have some more time, but we have come to this portion of our episode that we are going to share our life quote. So I will ask you to share your life quote, and I will share my life quote. And after that, I would like you to give your final message to our listeners and viewers, particularly to the teachers who will be listening to us. Okay, can you share your life quote first, and I will share my life quote as
My
well.
life quote is, I do not know who's the author of this, but
Mhm,
it's Carpe Diem. In English,
mhm,
live life to the fullest or
mhm,
seize the day. That is related with my teaching mantra because I want to do things in a way that I enjoy it as well.
mhm.
Um, it's like living as if it's your first day of your life, as if it's
Mhm.
the day that you have in your life, and as if it is the last day of your life. And then
Ex-
from there, you will be enjoying every moment of your life.
mhm.
Also, I want to tell all the people out there that teachers, teaching is still the best profession. It is a ministry. It's not a job.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. Edwin. My life quote is I always share every time we have our teacher voice episode is this. Proper education is the education of the heart. And the best way that which we can educate the heart is when we bring the heart of God into teaching, or when we have the heart of God, then when we have the love of God, we can love even the most unlovable among our students. Thank you very much, Dr. Edwin. Your final message, please, to all the teachers who are listening to us tonight.
Okay. Before that, I would just like again to say thank you, Dr. Marvin, Ma'am Pacita, Ma'am Judilyn, and
Mhm.
also thank you, Ma'am Jo, for this opportunity. This will be considered as one of my achievements for this school year.
Of
Sure.
course, thank you.
But I was excited, as what I said before. I was excited, but I'm really nervous because I have
Uh-huh.
some of the videos, and your guests are really those guests with a lot of credentials, very perfect credentials. For the teachers out there, um, you have the right choice to be a teacher,
Ah,
and our profession will not be it will be all it will always be very timely. Um, Kailangan po tayo ng bawat bata.
mhm.
Man po tayo sa mundo, bukod po sa kanilang mga magulang, kailangan po tayo ng kanilang mga anak. So, teachers, congratulations sa ating lahat. Um, Patapos na po ulit ang school year and we ended up victoriously. Congratulations.
Of course, of course. Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Edwin. On behalf of the Teacher Voice, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation for giving us this opportunity to feature you, to talk to you, and for your heart to be shared to all the teachers. We wish Teacher Judilyn well. We wish Teacher Pacita well. We hope to have another opportunity together for another episode next week. So thank you very much. Thank you also the Teacher Voice. Thank you PHLB Radio and Sir Johan. One more time, thank you very much, Doc Edwin. We hope to see you in the near future. God bless us all.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you again. Bye bye, Dr. Edwin. All right, bye.